Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm very excited to introduce you to this incredible opportunity. When I discovered it about 3 weeks ago, I was just out of my mind that this is even possible. And I'm so happy to share it with you tonight. So why was I so excited about it? Well, let me tell you a little bit more about me. I am actually, I'm a holistic coach. I currently live in Morocco. I'm very happy with what I'm doing with my life currently, but when an economist, because I happen to be an economist, sees an opportunity that's so huge and nobody's talking about it. The economist that I am, the businessman that I am, the trader that I was back 20 years ago, cannot but give it all its attention. I could not do otherwise because it's so big, and you're gonna understand it in a few moments, that for the past 3 weeks, I've hardly slept. Not because I cannot sleep, of course I can sleep, but I don't have time. This is huge, especially right now before the end of 2024. Why? Well, let me tell you a little more about me before I dive too deep so that you know at least who you're talking to. Let's see, how do I share my screen? I've been on I've been on Mac for just a few weeks now, months. So yeah, I'm having a hard time finding my way sometimes with Mac, but I'm gonna manage, I promise. I don't have a choice. I have so much to share with you that I'm gonna have to get better at this, like right now. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. So, I have several degrees. 2 in business administration with a concentration in finance from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, another one from the Paris, from the Marseille Euromed School, now it's called CADGE, I believe, in Marseille. And I have a master's degree in economics, in the economics of what we call in French industrial economics of markets and industry, in research with a concentration in energy, finance, and carbon. Remember carbon credits? I was there back in 2009. I was in Copenhagen for the last Copenhagen. I was all about it. Nowadays, I don't even speak about that anymore. I'm not interested in that anymore. For me, there is a difference between doing business from the heart and doing business that looks like it's from the heart, just to touch people in their hearts so that they accept. They accept to pay more taxes, they accept to feel guilty if they don't do, blah, 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 blah. But this is another thing. This is another league, what I'm gonna tell you about. Although it's related to carbon credits, and you see a little in a short while why it's related to carbon credits, because that opened the path. But this opportunity is actually unlike any other thing that I've ever seen. When I found out about it, thanks to a man named Thomas Carrière, who's been into this business for the past 2 years and a half, and who has actually, for himself and his team, has been generating more than $1 million of revenue in the past 2 years and a half. That's huge. That's just huge. So, and I know that we're gonna be doing much more than that. And you know what? It's not about the money. It's about the opportunity. Because we've been actually misled for so long about thinking that money was scarce and that the environmental problem was actually just like that, just have to accept it, and that there were big companies, big corporations, and that they are totally fine with polluting, and that we are totally fine with being polluted, and that's the way it is because that's the way it is. Well, no. It's changing. It's about to change totally, because there is a new regulation that's coming very soon actually, and it's currently being discussed at the United Nations level. And by the end of 2024, they will have come up with a UN plastic treaty. Let me share my screen again. They will have come up with a UN plastic treaty, which will become actually the new de facto mandate for plastic recycling throughout the world. And this is absolutely huge, because that means that everywhere, 175 nations, everywhere, the companies in those countries will have to abide by certain rules. And those rules will be that they have to include in their plastic production up to 30% of recycled plastic. It could sound like not that much, right? But it actually is huge for a simple reason that currently it's a fraction of that that's being recycled. That means that starting from 2025, well, of course, it's gonna be grandfathering into those numbers. It's not gonna be happening all at once, but those companies will be putting a huge pressure on the markets. Which markets? The markets of recycled plastic, which is becoming a huge business. And there is this company which is very, very smart. I mean, if we talk about smart companies, that is one. You know, we talk about smart money, about smart phones, about smart, I don't know what. Well, this is a smart company, very, very smart company. The founder, a Finnish man named Juicy, I keep forgetting his name because I found out about this like 3 weeks ago, but I'm all over it. I'm all over it. It's so big. It's this guy, Juicy Veikko Saloranta. You see here, Corsair, that's his company that he founded in 2020 in Thailand. He signed a deal to supply Shell with pyrolysis oil. Pyrolysis oil is this very high-grade oil that you get from recycled plastic, and the process of pyrolysis. How do I open this? The process of pyrolysis is something that has been known for quite some time, but the way that Corsair has been doing it is to actually generate some high-grade oil, which actually is worth quite some money. So they're already making money like that, but where these people are absolutely genius for two more reasons. The first reason is that they decided in 2021 to also sell what we call plastic credits. And this is where we're getting back to the carbon credit, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't like that anymore. I've been all the rage about it for a while, but right now, knowing what I know and being who I am, I don't want to hear about that anymore. I'm not going to get into detail, but because I know that many people are still, I mean, I could fight over it with some people, so I'm not here to fight. I'm here to love, actually, to love life before anything. So anyways, carbon is also life, because when you breathe out, there is carbon dioxide, which a tree actually breathes in and produces the oxygen. But that's a whole other talk. Let's get back to our plastic. So this plastic actually that they managed to turn into oil is actually worth a lot of money. And where they have played a genius actually move is that they have decided in 2021, besides their industrial activity, to start selling a service, which is the service of getting people to order plastic waste removal services from Corsair. And they created a second company named Amplivo. Amplivo for amplificator of voice. Which voice? Well, let's depollute the planet. Let's depollute the planet because it's actually more valuable to recycle the trash than to keep it in the environment. This is the message. The message is come make an income with us because you're going to be actually doing very good instead of just ignoring that waste into the environment. And so those services that they call plastic neutral packages, they started selling them in 2021. That was the first genius move. And the second genius move is that they also decided to sell it with MLM, multi-level marketing, which is the fastest way to get a product to market. And this is what they've done. This is what they've done, and it's actually absolutely genius because instead of relying on advertisements or on raising money from the markets or on I don't know what else, they just count on word of mouth, me, you, everybody who has a direct stake into this becoming actually more well-known, which is what we're doing, right? So it's genius. It's absolutely genius because instead of paying for those ads or having to pay some shareholders, that's a great thing. Also, this company, Corsair Group International, is still held by the 4 initial shareholders. Unless I'm wrong, I think there are 4. So the 4 initial shareholders still hold all the shares and it's becoming huge. They have like factories all over. I'm gonna show you some images so that you can have a clear idea of what's going on with this company. But yeah, they're actually their move of getting into not only the service of selling CSR credits, they call them CSR credits, but also doing it in MLM, CSR for corporate societal responsibility. This is just genius. I think these people were very, very inspired when they started doing that. So as I told you, the problem is plastic waste, and the solution that this group, Corsair Group International, came up with is to recycle that plastic waste into very valuable biofuel and to generate these new assets of their own, which are these CSR plastic credits, which currently are worth 12 euro cents. Yeah, no, yeah, 1 euro cent, 1,2 euro cent. As of November 2024, 1.2 euro cent. So this is where they have, again, as I told you, the first revolution is the CSR plastic credit. I mean, call it revolution, I'll call it just genius. Because a revolution is when you go and you turn around. This is not about going full circle. It's about doing a re-evolution. It's about breaking free from this prison in which we've been put and actually just evolving towards something that's higher and higher in terms of frequency. That's what we call abundance. Anyways, the opportunity also that they have created with this MLM business with Amplivo is also genius. So this is where we stand. We have actually a huge problem on our hands. It's plastic pollution, which is absolutely devastating for everything, for the animals, for the water streams, for the plants, of course, for ourselves. Microplastic is everywhere. It's in our water, it's in our bodies, certainly even in our brains. I don't know if I'm saying something that's not true, I don't know, but plastic is everywhere. It's everywhere. So the problem is everywhere. And the solution is not to let that problem spread. The solution is to actually realize that we as human beings, we should not remain inactive when we see this. No matter what way the war is raging against our humanity, when we see this, we should feel outraged. And this is what happens to me. I'm like, oh, that's terrible. And I'm actually, until 3 weeks ago, I was part of the problem. I was part of the problem because every single minute that passes, about, I don't know how many million, like 1 million bottles of water gets just flushed into nature. And I was drinking some bottled water just right now because that's the most convenient, to drink bottled water. But that's not what I enjoy best, but I do it just like all of us. So there is no guilt to feel because that's how our societies are built. They are built on the basis of waste. But there is nothing like throwing away. Away does not exist. It just keeps on moving around, changing forms, but still moving around. It was this famous French scientist that was saying, nothing gets created, nothing gets destroyed, everything gets transformed. I think it's Lavoisier. Everything gets transformed. So this is where we stand. So it gets transformed into pollution. So when you know that it takes about, look at that, 50 years for a styrofoam cup to degrade, 200 years for an aluminum can to degrade. But look what's coming, 450 years for a nappy. 450 years for diapers. How many diapers have we used? How many diapers have been used for me, for our kids? We cannot get around this problem. It's impossible to not use plastic. I mean, just realize it. Plastic ball, 450 years. And the king of all, the plastic toothbrush. So all these toothbrushes that we use. Well, anyways, I'm not telling this so that we can feel guilty. No, let's not be part of the problem anymore. Let's be part of the solution. That's why I'm so excited. And you're going to see the solution is not only to depollute the planet. The solution is to depollute ourselves too, from the illusion of scarcity, of lack, of hardship. Anyways, I'll tell you more about that in a moment. So what has Corsair done? I've already told you, they've been transforming plastic waste into advanced bio-oil, biofuel, bio-oil. And right now, what used to be a problem is an opportunity. That's why the Chinese actually are so opportunistic. They see the opportunities where others see problem. In Chinese, opportunity, actually no. Actually, yes. No, crisis, yes. Crisis is made of two characters. One that says danger and the other one says opportunity. Wei Qi. Wei is danger and T is dynamic, opportunity. Why? Why crisis is made of those two characters? Because if there is a crisis, say an environmental crisis, there are floods, or there is something that anyways has changed the environment. If you do not take that into account and you keep on actually acting the way you were doing before, it's a big danger because you did not take into account the change. And the second character of G, of dynamic, of opportunity, why? Because there is a new configuration that did not exist before, which means that you can do things which you could not do before. If you do the right thing, if you take the right decision, if you make the right action, you're going to profit tremendously from a crisis. Where others will see a terrible happening, you will see a favorable happening. Why? Because you took action. You took action. This is what changed everything. So these people have turned what used to be a problem into a solution, and they're building facilities all over the world. They are solid financially, they are ambitious, they have put in place what it takes at an industrial level and also at a more, let's say, people level, because I'm the voice. You could be the voice, but I'll tell you more about that in a moment. And right now, they are one of the few companies that meet the recognized environmental and societal sustainability requirements to deliver actually the bio oil, and also, and this is where it's going to be an incredible opportunity, they are currently ahead of the game as far as those plastic credits are concerned, which are going to become a very big tool in the coming years for companies to offset their plastic production. So currently, it's not everywhere, but many plastic companies are required by law to use 30% recycled plastic in the production of new plastic. So it's not everywhere, but it's going to happen very, very soon. And this is where the CSR Plastic Credits comes in place. It's that when a company cannot either recycle the plastic or find enough recycled plastic, because the production is not enough compared to the plastic that's made out of fossil fuel. The demand is going to increase, but the production of recycled plastic not as fast. So what's going to happen, you think? Well, there is going to be a rise in the prices of not only the recycled plastic, but also these very interesting assets which we call plastic credits. Just like there were the carbon credits, well, now there are the plastic credits, which are another financial tool for companies to offset their plastic production. So you as an individual can become plastic neutral because you want to. You don't have any obligation. It's just out of environmental consciousness, but companies will have to. Companies will have to offset their plastic production by 30% and more afterwards. So that means that there is going to be more and more companies that are going to be actually looking for those credits. Right now, it's all a matter of CSR. That's why the credit is called CSR, Corporate Societal Responsibility. So right now, some companies are actually doing that on a voluntary basis because they want to. It's for their image. See, it's pretty big companies. Of course, there are some that we don't know, but like Michelin, Ford, Lexus, Toyota, that I think, Nissan, Isuzu, Novotel, Marriott, Ibis, Mercure. I think there is the biggest hotel in the biggest airport company or something like that just signed a big deal with Corsair in Thailand. So companies are waking up to their CSR. They are, hey, Mini, it's not the time for this, right? So they are waking up to their CSR, and they're doing it on a voluntary basis for now. But very soon it's going to become mandatory, and this is where it's going to be very big. It's when actually companies that are going to be working with let's say, a marketing powerhouse. That is a company that has such great image, such great following, such great, let's say, amplification of the message of the companies, of the other companies, of their clients. A company like Corsair and Amplivo, which are becoming really, really well known, thanks to us. thanks to the independent partners just like me who have an interest in putting this content out, in actually advocating for plastic recycling. Why? Because of course there are ethics, but also because I have an interest. My interest is that every time somebody makes a purchase of those CSR passing from me, I'm getting a cut, I'm getting a commission, and you can too. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. So when these companies get such great coverage for their message, because Corsair is doing a good job of promoting CSR credits, well, they can just stamp it on their products and look good. For now, that's the way it is. For now, it's on a voluntary basis. But starting from 2025, those companies will need to buy credits because it will become mandatory. And where will they buy them, you think? Will they buy them from an obscure random company, or will they buy them from a company that has great following on social media, that has a great image, and that has a great backing for their credits? Well, I'll tell you more about that again, but it's extremely, extremely powerful what's coming up. I would not be that enthusiastic if it were not that big. So why is it interesting for you? Because let's be clear, let's be just honest. Why would we spend time? Why would we give attention? Why would we spend effort if it were not for a good reason? A reason actually that we can all profit from. Yes, we have our common interest, which is to, I'm not going to say protect, because we don't need, I mean, the planet does not need us for her protection. We need her. It's not only to quote unquote save the planet or to do what is right for the planet. No, it's to do what feels right for us. And any one of us here, I'm sure, if we're a little bit honest, we're not going to be volunteering our whole time because it's the right thing to do. No. It might be an ideal that, yeah, I'm volunteering, I'm doing this for free, and I'm doing it for the right cause, whether it's humanitarian work or environmental work or whatever, or community work, no matter what. Yes, we can volunteer some of our time. It's good, it's normal, it's natural, because solidarity is in our DNA, it's natural. But we can do it all the time. However, this, why is it interesting for you? The more we depollute the planet, the more we recycle plastic waste, the more income you generate. Let me repeat it. The more we do good, the more you do good for yourself. It's a direct relationship. It's not just intellectual, it's not just ideal, it's not just like some kind of goodwill thing. No, it's very real. Every time we recycle some more plastic through this business, you make some more money. How can you get any better than this? I don't know. At least for me, I don't know how it could get any better than this. So, when you purchase a plastic neutral package from Amplivo, you give an order to Corsair to remove plastic waste from the environment and to convert it into advanced bio-oil. You then receive CSR Plastic Credits as a digital proof, and that CSR is actually worth some money. So you did not invest into, let's say, a plastic removal service. You actually paid for it, but in exchange of that service, of that order that you gave to Corsair, you receive this digital coin or digital proof or digital asset that certifies on the Ethereum blockchain that you actually contributed to so much removal of plastic from the environment. And 1 CSR equals 100 grams. So 10 CSR equals 1 kilogram. And the way that you can become plastic neutral, or even more, is to actually buy those PNPs, so the plastic neutral packages. It starts at 10 euros, so 10 euros is 10 PNPs. And when you actually want to go further, and this is what I hope you will do when you hear about this opportunity, because this is exactly what I've done right away. When I discovered this, I was like, this is too big to be true. And the truth is that it is extremely big, but not too much to be true, because it is true. It is true. I'm living it, I'm doing it. It's been only 3 weeks, something like that, and I can promise you that I've never seen such a huge opportunity. The money is to be made and the planet is to be cleaned. And the voice is to be heard. There is no other way. Money talks, as we say, right? So what is the business opportunity? When you actually decide to go plastic neutral, that's good for you. That's a great thing, and you're getting your CSRs, and those CSRs value is going to be evolving over time. And one interesting thing I have to tell you is that you're actually buying them at a discount, those CSRs. You're getting them at a discount because what you're buying is actually the service to remove the plastic waste from the environment, and in exchange, you're getting the CSRs, and you're getting them at a discount. It's as if you went, for example, to, I don't know, some orchards, and you make a deal with the farmer. You tell him, hey, you're gonna get your harvest in next year, right? How about I pay you forward for that production, and when it's ready, you deliver it to me. He's gonna be, yeah, all right, I can give you a 50% discount. Maybe. Why? He's getting the money right now. He's getting the money right now. This is what we are doing with the plastic waste recycling. We're giving them the money right now. And then we're receiving the plastic credits about 10 months later. So he's gonna give you a discount. So when you actually get the credits, go ahead. When you actually get the credits, you are actually getting them at a much higher value than what you paid for. So right there and then you're already making a profit, right there and then. But where you're also making a profit is that not only you are gaining on those CSR's value, but you're also gaining when you are part of the business as a partner. That is, you have a business license, which costs only 10 euros, which gives you the right to be an agent for the company, to be affiliated with Amplivo. And every time you refer somebody to Amplivo and that they purchase their PNP, whether it's 10 euros, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, or a million, does not matter how much they purchase, as long as they purchase by being referred by you, you're getting a cut. And I'll tell you in a moment how much it is. So can you see where the opportunity is? It's pretty decent. It's there, it's valid. So how much do you make? How much do you make? How much can you make if you decide to actually become a partner? Well, as I told you, Corsair is already pretty profitable. They're making money with their bio-oil, biofuel, which they're selling to big companies like Shell, for example. And honestly, they could just go with that. That's enough for them. But why are they doing this scheme on top of the industrial activity? Well, it's giving them leverage. It's giving them a lot of leverage. Instead of going public and raising money from the markets, they raise it from individuals like you, like me, who rather than leaving their money to go waste in a bank account or to serve, I don't know how to call that, but that's artificial money debt creation through loans, etc. Well, you actually put it where it's really needed, in cleansing the planet. So they're already making money with that, and they are actually not paying any loan interest. They're not at the order of any kind of big fund or company like BlackRock that would be putting money in anyways in one of their many screen companies that they will invest through, and then they could actually stop them in their ability to make the right decisions. Nothing like that is happening. So actually this money that they're making through the CSR credits is bonus money. That means that they can actually give very generous commissions. So every time I'm making a sell, or a sell gets done through me, through my affiliation, I'm getting a 12% cut. That is, if you, after watching this video, decide to invest, say, 1,000 euros into this future of our planet to actually become plastic neutral and to actually help the future generations to have a better future, and in exchange of that service that you're giving to the planet, this company, Corsair, thanks you by giving you this plastic credit, which represents actually a great placement, a great investment not only, I mean, the investment for the future of the planet, you did it. You paid for it. That's it. You paid it forwards. And in exchange for that service that you gave, when you get your CSR credit, that actually represents an asset that you can decide to hold on to if you want to keep it, so that you are actually definitely removing that plastic from the circulation, or you can decide to hold on to it until a moment when the value seems so interesting that you decide to sell it on the market. And then you're going to have a company, most likely, which is going to buy it because they're going to need it to offset their plastic production. I hope it's clear. So first level, I earn 12%. Second level, that is, say you actually resonate with my message right now and you decide that you actually want to be part of it, and you become also a partner thanks to me, because you heard it from me, you got into the business through me. Well, every time somebody hears about it and buys their PNP, their plastic neutral package through you, I'm getting an 8% cut. Me, you're getting a 12% cut. There's those very same 1,000 euros, you're getting 120 and I'm getting 80. And likewise, if he becomes also a partner in the business and through him somebody buys a PNP, he's getting 120 euro. You're getting 80 and I'm getting 80, and so on and so forth on 5 levels. It's a lot. So what that means is that what matters is not who you know. What matters is who you know knows. Because you don't know what you don't know. But what you should know is whether this resonates or not. And if it does, act fast. Because before you know it, this is going to become huge. And I'll tell you more about that in a moment. It's going to become absolutely huge. So everybody will hear about it. So they'd rather hear about it from you first. I hope you get it. Then there is a matching bonus and Infinity Start bonus. I don't even know what that is because I'm not there yet. I just got started 3 weeks ago. But it's big also. Apparently it's big. Because my sponsor, I mean, the one above my direct sponsor, is all in with his sponsor like 5 levels on top. Because when you start having a big team, you're getting actually 2 to 6% on your whole team's turnover. Plus those 10 levels deep on influencers, junior level bonus. I don't know what that is, honestly, I don't know. I don't need to know much more than what I already know to know that it's already a lot. If I'm just getting what I'm going to be getting just with the uni level bonus, regardless of the matching bonus and the Infinity Start bonus, if I just focus on that to start with, it's already huge. So when you realize this, like the sky's the limit, as we say, I'm pretty sure that very, very soon, many of us will become multimillionaires. Why? Because the need is there. The need is there to depollute the planet. The need is there to recycle the plastic. And when I say multimillionaire, of course, it's not going to be cash in your pocket. It's going to be assets that you own, that you can sell if you want. So I hope it resonates. In conclusion, if you find in yourself right now any resonance for the validity of this message that I'm sending you with as much passion and as much honesty and integrity as I can, because I'm not here to deceive anyone. I'm just here to profit of a situation which has been lasting way too long, being a problem, and I want to be out of the problem and become the solution. And this is what I am. So I'm serving you right now with this information so that you also can become part of the solution. And not only to save the planet, but to save your life from having to work 9 to 5 for a job that you don't like just to make ends meet at the end of the month. So if it resonates, reach out to me, because there is a lot we can do together. And as I was telling you, this whole opportunity is about doing the right thing. When you start doing the right thing, you realize actually that it can feel good and be right, but it takes courage. It's not everyone actually who's gonna dare to actually try it. Why? Because it's like, oh, it could be a scam, it could be I don't know what. Well, if it's a scam, prove it. You know, those who, you're gonna find some articles online that say, oh, Amplivo, Corsair, MLM, Ponzi scheme, blah, 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 pyramid, blah, blah, blah. Sure, if it were a pyramid, you think they would be doing business? If it were like a Ponzi scheme, that's illegal. You can't do it, it's illegal. The law would fall upon you right away, right there and then. See Bernie Madoff. What was that in 2010, or I don't know what. they fell upon him like right when they found out it was a Ponzi scheme. The difference between an MLM, legitimate business, and a Ponzi scheme is that in a Ponzi scheme you don't have any, let's say, customers. You have investors, so-called investors. Like you're supposed to invest something in the scheme, and then you know that you should be getting a return on your investment. You know, like Bernie Madoff was doing. He was lying to his clients, making them believe that he was getting, I don't know how many, like which percentage of return per year. That was like crazy. Everybody wanted to put their money there with him. Why? Because he was renowned for getting great returns, except that he was actually paying his former customers, the ones who entered earlier, thanks to the newcomers. That's illegal. That's totally illegal. Now here, we're not actually talking about investments, and we're not talking to investors. We're talking to consumers. We're talking to people who need to buy a plastic service, a plastic removal service, so that they can actually offset their plastic production, their plastic consumption, whether it's companies or us, individuals who consume plastic too. So, of course, for us individuals, it's on a voluntary basis. For companies right now, it's still on a voluntary basis, but very soon it will become regulatory and therefore mandatory. So we are actually buying a service, and in exchange for that service, we are getting a plastic credit, the CSR plastic credits, which have a value of their own. They're like a class asset. They're an asset on their own. So we can decide to hold on to that asset, or we can decide to sell it. And this is where we make or not a profit. The price could go the other direction. Everything is possible. So this is, you know, like somebody who's going to tell you, yeah, it's going to go up. Well, I mean, when you're reasonable, you believe that there is some logic in the world. You believe that there is some things that make sense, and of course, that's not the one I want to share. Of course, you would think that it should normally, yeah, there we go. It should normally go up. Yeah, that's the one. It should normally go up, right? When you see that Shell is a customer of Corsair, when you see that there is a UN plastic treaty, which will be actually, see, that's the one where we are right now. So there was Ottawa, and the next one, Korea, yeah. The next one, right, will be in November. No, there is one in December in South Africa. I think so, I believe so. Anyways, there are several UN plastics meetings like this that are there so that they can come up with a UN plastics treaty, which is going to be operating the world over, throughout the world. So when you see all of that, the only thing you can think about is, all right, there is a trend, and it's not because I say it, it's because I see it. And just like I see it, let's ask the best here we go. The best market researcher that we have today, namely ChatGPT. So where is the plastic credits market heading, most likely heading towards? Let's be precise. Most likely heading towards in the coming years. The plastic credit market is projected to experience significant growth in the coming years, driven by increasing corporate commitments to sustainability and heightened awareness of plastic pollution. According to global market estimates, the market is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 8.1% from 2024 to 2029. I'm going to tell you, I think this is a very, very low estimate. It's good, but it's a very low estimate. This expansion is anticipated to be fueled by several key factors. Corporate adoption. Companies are increasingly engaging in plastic credit initiatives to offset their plastic footprints and demonstrate environmental responsibility. Innovative platforms, development of advanced plastic credit platforms, emerging technologies like blockchain is enhancing transparency and traceability in credit transactions. Very true. Collaborative efforts. There is a growing number of partnerships among governments, businesses, NGOs, and waste management entities to create comprehensive plastic credits. All right. So I don't think ChatGPT gets the point. Did you take into account in these projections the upcoming UN plastics treaty that is currently under discussion to kick in action starting from to down to progressively enter into how do we say that again, to enter into application, let's say, starting from 2025 in 175 countries in the world. Question mark. Tell me what you think, chat. The forthcoming UN Plastics Treaty anticipated to commence implementation in 2025 across 170 countries is poised to significantly influence the plastic right market. This treaty aims to establish legally binding measures to combat plastic pollution, potentially introducing regulations that could reshape the market's dynamics. Potential impacts on the plastic credit market, regulatory frameworks, blah, 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 blah. While the exact provisions of the treaty are still under negotiation, its implementation is expected to drive significant changes in the plastic credit market, emphasizing the need for adaptability and proactive engagement from all stakeholders. All right, that's, come on. Give me some projections for the compounded growth of plastic credits with regards, or in the light of this treaty. How did he name it? Of this forthcoming treaty that is highly anticipated by the markets. What else could I tell him? Imagine that you are an economist specialized, I should have told him this from the beginning, specialized in the markets, in the industrial and business markets. Industrial and business markets, let's put it that way. Yeah, a microeconomist, let's put it that way, microeconomist. Yeah, he's not revised growth projections. Let's see. Considering this factor, it's reasonable to project that the plastic credit market could experience a CAGR ranging between 10 to 12% over the next 5 years, surpassing earlier estimates. Yeah, it's still conservative. But anyways, you get the idea. This is what matters, actually. It's to surf, actually. When you know the direction, in which the wave is going, it's about surfing, It's not going to go down. I mean, if it goes down, anything is possible. Like, we stop consuming plastic. We don't need our smartphones anymore. We all become hippies living in some cave or some mountains. And the life that we currently experience is totally different. Everything is possible. Now, at that moment, we won't care about money anymore. But as long as we live in these crazy societies, sick societies, I don't think money is anywhere gonna disappear, or plastic. So you'd rather have that money if you want it, and I think you'd rather have it. You'd rather have it rather than anybody else that hears about it and actually takes action. Actually, we can all have it. This is a great thing. This is the beauty about this MLM model, is that we can all work in team. So when you decide that you want to be part of this, I will directly coach you. I will directly help you to make the best out of this opportunity, because this is the way we do it. I have a direct interest in you thriving too. So the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to move on to the next stage of your life? A life of abundance, a life of thrill, a life of infinite freedom, a life where from the comfort of your home, or from the sand beach of, the white sand beaches of Thailand, or the mountains of Kilimanjaro, you can just run your business as an independent associate with a thriving partner who's pretty solid, who's giving generous commissions, and who honestly does not have an interest in screwing us over. and with a sponsor, me, or the person who referred you to this video, who's certainly already part of my team, in which case he's your sponsor, he's your direct sponsor, and you're part of my team, you will still get the support that I can give you, that I'm creating, you know, with all the tools that I'm putting in place. And there's a lot coming. Is this the one? Yeah, there's a lot coming in terms of, no, that's not the one. I wanted to share. I'm putting in place quite a few exciting things so that we can actually make the best of our time and our efforts. And it's gonna be very, very cool, really cool. Oh, Mac. These Mac computers are giving me a hard time. Let's see. Let's see. ChatGPT. All right, let's try to share it again. It's starting to grow with me, this Mac OS, but still it's giving me a hard time to find my way. Maybe I should have less windows open. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna share my whole screen. Let's do it like that. Let's make my life easier. Yeah. I think I spoke too fast. It's not necessarily easier, but let's do it. Oh, there we go. All right. So yeah, I'm putting in place quite a few tools, like this website, which is going to be actually a community website. It's going to be a banner for our activities. It's going to be the place where we gather to not only get information, to gather information, but also to depollute ourselves at all levels: mind, body, emotion, and the planet. Because when we realize that we've been conditioned to fail, we've been conditioned to obey, we've been conditioned to believe blindly what we're told rather than use our discernment to make the best decisions, well, it's time to move on. It's time to realize that, yes, we are on the edge of a huge opportunity. And it only depends on us whether we find the courage to take action and to actually just give it a try. It won't cost you much. You can buy a PNP, you can reach out to me, I'll tell you everything that you need to know about that, and you can start making a difference in the world and in your direct experience of life. This is how responsible individuals respond. It's by taking responsibility. And taking responsibility means to act in a massive, determined, and willing way. If you are willing to take action, please reach out. There is a lot we're going to achieve together. Be happy.